collected. But the people who are at the most danger for this, as we've always said, have been the people who are in political power, people who are congressmen, people who are presidents, people who are political enemies. That is the real danger of the surveillance state. Yes, of course, it will be used against individuals. Yes, of course, they are monitoring your information. Not that you have anything to hide, not that they're going to come after you personally, but they want to know if their narrative is succeeding. They try to stop information coming from conservative sites or sites that are politically opposed to them, and they want to put out their information using the newly created Ministry of Truth that they stuck into the NDAA at the end of December, this so-called Center for Countering Disinformation and Propaganda is actually putting out disinformation and propaganda. How do they know if that's working? Well, they look at your metadata. That is the most important metric for them. They have to have feedback to know if their propaganda is working. So they fund and create the propaganda institution, but they also have to have this ability to get into your computers, all of us, so they can see if this is working. But for individuals like Donald Trump, for people who will oppose their political agenda, people like Rand Paul who are not going to buy into the neocon warmongering establishment and therefore immediately labeled as being allies of Vladimir Putin, for those people, it is especially dangerous. And so our political leaders ought to be the first ones to realize this danger of the uncontrolled surveillance police state and shut it down. And we can see that that is happening now. Let me give you another example of how they're coming after InfoWars. 2 days, actually yesterday, we put up a special report that I did, and it was an article, Saudi Arabia is now being sued by families of 9/11 attack. That was basically a fact-based article. Based on that title, Google sent us information and said, we've looked at the content in your video or your video details, and we don't think they're very advertiser friendly. As a result, your video cannot be monetized. Real close to being censored, but censored in a way that they want to defund any news organizations that are opposed to their official agenda. And we need to understand what's going on here. Any discussion of terror, they say, well, you can't talk about 9/11. We're going to put that on the back burner. If we look at a story that just came out yesterday, the Wall Street Journal reported that Google is stepping up efforts to keep ads away from controversial content. That would be what this is. If we go back to January the 26th, 2017, we see another article from Wall Street Journal. Could be almost exactly the same headline. Google steps up efforts to stop fake news. So in January, they were stepping up efforts to stop fake news. Now they're stepping up efforts to keep ads away that are controversial. So in other words, let's just put this all under one umbrella article. Maybe the Wall Street Journal will run it. Google steps up efforts to shut down free speech and free press, because that's what this amounts to. You have to understand that they want to, when they step up these efforts to stop fake news, they will be the arbiters of what is fake and what isn't. They will be the arbiters of what is controversial and what isn't.